the fourth round of the National Sero Survey for COVID-19, which was conducted in the last few weeks of June and July, and the beginning of July. We have already concluded 3 rounds, and we have presented those results, and I'll summarize the results of those 3 rounds as well. Now, the survey design was different, slightly different from the earlier Sero surveys, in the sense that we have included children in this Sero survey from 6 to 17 years of age, as well as adults, the general population, which is 28,975 individuals. The overall seroprevalence is 67.6% in the entire population, which is from 6 years and adults included. Now, if you disaggregate this data of seroprevalence, between 6 to 9 years, it was 57.2. 10 to 17 years, it was 61.6%. 18 to 44 years, it was 66.7. Now, 45 to 60, it was higher, 77.6, and more than 60 years, around 77% again. Male, female, no difference. Rural, urban, there was no difference. It's 66 and 69, slightly higher in the urban areas. In unvaccinated, the prevalence was 62.3%, and with 1 dose of vaccine, it was 81%. And if they had received both the doses, it was 89.8%. So we studied 7,252 healthcare workers, and 10% had not taken the vaccine, 90% had taken the vaccine, and the overall seroprevalence in the healthcare workers was 85.2%. So in conclusion, 2/3 of the general population, that is above the age of 6 years, had SARS-CoV-2 infection. More importantly, 1/3 of the population did not have any antibodies. That is still approximately 40 crore population of this country is still vulnerable. So the implications of this large Sero survey done as round number 4 clearly show that there is a ray of hope. But there is no room for complacency. We must maintain COVID appropriate behavior and community engagement. An important point to remember here is the National Sero Survey is not a substitute for local, that is state or district level survey. It is not a substitute. It is just giving a bird's eye view, the overall picture, panoramic picture of what is happening in the nation. But there is heterogeneity which is occurring from state to state, district to district, and we should be cognizant of that.
Now that the cases of COVID have reduced in many districts, many of which have positivity rate of less than 5%, is the government going to plan opening of schools and colleges in a staggered way, like being suggested by many experts?
I think that's a very important question regarding schools and children. We know clearly that children can handle viral infections much better than adults. Young children, it has been established, have lower number of receptors. That is, the ACE receptors is much lower in children where the virus attaches. And antibody exposure we have seen in our presentation in very young children, it is very similar to adults. So 57.2 versus 66.7 or 61.2 so the antibody exposure is also similar in children. Having said that, there have been some countries, particularly the Scandinavian countries, many parts of Europe, wherein they did not shut down their primary schools during the first wave, second wave, third wave, whatever waves they had. Their primary schools were always open. So once India starts considering and the districts start considering, it will be wise to open primary schools first. And that should be done before the schools for secondary schools. And also we have to ensure that all the support staff, whether it be the school bus drivers or the teachers or the staff in the schools, they need to be vaccinated.
ये विषय संपूर्ण रूप से विभ्रांत करने के लिए देशवासियों को, जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में इतनी बड़ी पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन जिसको भारतवासी ने पहली बार मुकाबला किया है, और हमने इससे पहले इस टाइप की जब भी कोई पैंडेमिक हुआ है हमने देखा बड़े मात्रा में भूखमरी से लोगों का यहाँ मृत्यु हुई है। किंतु इस बार माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में और देशवासियों का जो स्वतःस्फूर्त था, जैसे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जब जनता कर्फ्यू का आह्वान किया था, आपने तब देखा पूरे देश एकजुट हुआ था और एक शुरुआत थी, और हमारे अंदर मुकाबला करने का शक्ति उस दिन पूरे दुनिया ने देखा। और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो अपील पूरे देशवासियों ने मान लिया था, और उसके बाद लॉकडाउन, अनलॉक, फर्स्ट वेव, सेकंड वेव, ये सब आई है और पूरे देश आज प्रस्तुत हुए हैं। आपने देखा मेडिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आज देश का 2 गुना, 3 गुना, 4 गुना एक एक राज्य में डेवलप्ड हुई है। तो किसके कारण से? माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के सकारात्मक जो नीतियां है उसके कारण से हुई है। मॉनसून सेशन शुरू हुई है, इसके एक दिन पहले फोन टैपिंग का एक संवाद आती है, अब उसको लेके आप सेशन नहीं चलने दे रहे हो। जब ये पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन में लोकसभा एवं राज्यसभा चलना सबसे बड़ा जरूरी है, पूरा विषय जनता के पहले जो जान है तो जहान, उसके विषय में बात करना चाहिए। जो हम कैसे मुकाबला करेंगे, क्या क्या करना चाहिए, थर्ड वेव आएंगे तो क्या होना चाहिए, इसके ऊपर चर्चा होना चाहिए। चर्चा हो रहा है क्या? क्यों एडजर्नमेंट मोशन बार बार लाया जा रहा है? बार बार क्यों हाउस को भंग करना पड़ रहा है? क्यों एडजर्न करना पड़ रहा है? क्या? फोन टेपिंग। अरे भाई, किसने किया है फोन टेपिंग?
सौ बसें 3 महानगरों में, लखनऊ, कानपुर, आगरा, और 50-50 बसें वो प्रयाग, वाराणसी, मेरठ, गाजियाबाद और मथुरा, वृंदावन में। 25-25 बसें मुरादाबाद, बरेली, झांसी, अलीगढ़, गोरखपुर और शाहजहांपुर, यानी 700 बसें आरंभ की जाएंगी ये 1 महीने ट्रायल रन के बाद। इलेक्ट्रिक बसों से वायु प्रदूषण, ध्वनि प्रदूषण, इन सब में कमी आएगी और एक बेहतर आरामदेह परिवहन सेवा जनता को मिल सकेगी। अभी लखनऊ में इससे पहले 40 बसें, इलेक्ट्रिक बसें चल रही हैं, लेकिन ये देखा गया कि अभी उसका कुछ किराया अधिक होने की वजह से उसमें अभी उतने यात्री नहीं उस सेवा का लाभ ले रहे हैं। तो ये निर्णय लिया गया है कि 1 साल तक उन बसों का किराया सामान्य बस के बराबर होगा।
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.